Hello, welcome to Board Deck and Dice. Today we're doing a Kickstarter preview of Dig and Dig Dragon, which is going to be on Kickstarter imminently or right now. Just look down below in the description and you'll find the link as soon as it's live. Let's go take a look at how it plays. In Dig you must dig. The winner is the person with the most gems at the end, but watch out for monsters, cave-ins, and of course your fellow player. Before you take an action on your turn, you may visit the tavern and spend 5 crystals to get an extra recruit, or you may spend the exact precious stones to get a companion. Companions offer a shoulder to cry on and also give you a permanent power for the rest of the game. Then you must dig, or close a gallery. Digging simply means drawing a card from the top of the deck, the hill deck, and then resolving it. Cards are resolved differently whether you are inside a gallery or outside. To start a gallery, you place one of your recruits on top of a precious stone card. Then you must immediately draw another card. The reason you do this is for every 5th card you place out, you will place a gem, including the card that the recruit is on. So here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we place a gem, and then if we place 2 more cards, we get to place another gem because we have a recruit on the 3rd card too. So 5 counting the card that the recruit is on there. We can also, if we have multiple galleries, when we dig inside, we draw a card for every gallery we have. Normally you'd resolve these one at a time. I'm just showing you in the wrong order here and attempting to pick up a card with no nails. So the dragon would have a negative effect on our, or the orc, sorry, would have a negative effect on our gallery, often closing it. The other cards, item cards, will be put into my treasure. To close a gallery, you simply take all the recruits, gems and treasure, precious stones, and put them in your treasure pile, and then they can be used again. This is the Dig Dragon expansion. You add some of these Dragon Lair cards to the hill pile, and when you draw one of these Dragon Lair cards, you then can enter the Dragon's Lair, or you can discard one and draw from the hill as normal. The Dragon's Lair works in a very more usual push your luck. You can draw until you want to stop and take those cards into your treasure, or you can draw until you bust, and you bust by uncovering the dragon and you leave with nada. And I still can't pick up cards, we'll just cut it there. Dig is a nice push your luck game, and what you're doing is you're trying to get the precious stones, start some galleries with those so you can get gems. There are other ways to get gems, of course, by taking companions that battle certain monsters, but that's a harder way to get them because you don't know if that monster is going to come out on your turn. I really like the speed of play. Each turn you're taking 1 card if you're digging outside the hill, and up to 4 cards if you're digging inside your galleries. But you might not have 4 galleries because that's kind of spreading yourself a bit thin. You might have 2 galleries with 2 people in, or a mixture of whatever. It is better to have more galleries though, because there are player powers that let people bomb your galleries and things like that, and they usually wait till you've got a lot of stuff in them, so there is that. It takes a little the biggest thing to get used to is this digging inside or outside and the terminology around that. Once you've got that down, it's so simple, but the cards do different things whether they're inside or outside. Generally, a card, an attack, a special, or a collapse just end your go if you're digging outside, whereas if you're digging inside, their powers then activate and they do different things, and there's a really helpful player aid that explains the kind of inside powers. Dig Dragon adds a more familiar kind of sense of push your luck, as in when you go to the Dragon's Lair, you're drawing until you want to stop, which is kind of a more usual push your luck, and that's what I kind of like about the base game of Dig. It's not the kind of push your luck where you just keep going and going and going, and if someone gets on a lucky roll, they get on a lucky roll. It's going to be quite quickly back round to your turn because you're drawing 1 to 4 cards at a time, and that gives you're kind of pushing your luck in different ways. Do you push your luck in starting multiple galleries? Do you push your luck in putting all your eggs in one basket and filling one gallery with as many recruits as you can? It can be quite punishing when all your recruits get sent back to the tavern, but you should have collected enough treasure by that stage that you can buy one back on the start of your next turn. I like the aesthetic look of Dig, and I like the level of gameplay. I can play it at the start of game night, or I can play it with my family. My 8-year-old absolutely loves it. Because the push your luck isn't like in the Dragon expansion. The push your luck is keep going until you decide to stop or you draw a card. Well, kids always keep going, don't they? Some adults do too. Whereas in the base game, you're just drawing one card, and yeah, it's disappointment if it ends your go, but your go would have ended then anyway, and you're not losing everything that you've pulled out so far. So that's really good for kids who struggle with the kind of more familiar push your luck elements that the dragon brings in. But even then it's optional, because if you draw the dragon's lair, you can discard it and just draw another card instead of going into the dragon's lair. So it gives a load of good options, simple gameplay. If you play to the 5 gems, it's going to be over in 20 minutes to half an hour, and you can make that more. The suggestion is 10, but you know, you can do what you want. You can go anywhere between 5 and 10. So yeah, really like this one. Good gateway, push your luck game for families and fillers at the start of game night or in the middle of between games while you're waiting. It's going to be on Kickstarter, so the prototype, the components I've been looking at are prototype, and there will be some changes. The artwork's near enough final though. So if you like the look of that, go and check out the Kickstarter, and you can get Dig, the core box and the expansion on there. Thanks very much for watching Board Deck and Dice. We will see you next time.